here. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I'm doing a 6-month review of my journal making. So I make a journal every single month as part of my journaling J.O.Y. J.O.Y stands for Journal Our Year. So I'm going to change the camera view because I can't fit them all on. I'm going to show you which journal we made for which month, what they're all called, where you can find them, and just talk a little bit about what we do. And hopefully these journals can give you some ideas and inspiration in your own journal making. So let's just get down to a better. So if you're new here, I create a journal every single month. Okay, I've been doing it for about 2 years. Well, I think, are we in our second year? I think we're in our second year. And these are my journaling J.O.Y collections. And J.O.Y stands for, everybody that knows my knows, Journal Our Year. So I make a collection every month for my Ko-fi members. But you can follow along with the tutorials that I create for my journals using anything. You do not have to use my papers or be a member. You can still get heaps of inspiration. But if you do decide to become a member, I don't limit the collections to the month you join. When you join, you get access to everything. Okay, and you'll have access to everything for the whole time that you remember. All right, so this was January's Majestic Peacock. I absolutely love this collection, and I try and do my journals in a different way so that I can show you different ways every time. I do tend to gravitate towards hardcovers, but this was made actually out of 2 envelopes, and we did a mixed media style cover. You can see I've done some modelling paste there, and we covered the whole thing with collage and this lovely glow here. My dog's shaking his tail against the door, sorry about that. Gives this journal cover an iridescent glow. And we've collaged the envelopes, and I've got a full tutorial on it. It's fabulous, and I wanted it to have almost a junky feel. Okay, so I'm not going to do full flip throughs, I'll just do a little bit. I always do different kinds of pockets, and when I do tutorials on it. Look at that paper, Majestic Peacock, absolutely stunning. So I'm not going to link each collection for each journal I share with you today. Just going to leave a link to the Ko-fi. Go and have a look. See what you think of the members' collections. So, you can see I've used what I'd use in a junk journal. Not just the digitals, because you can mix and match. Okay. And then the way I created this, I added 2 envelopes together to make the cover. So in the centre, where they are joined, we've got a huge, huge pocket. And I made this huge, huge file folder. So it's a lovely, lovely... It was a different way for me. I'd not made one quite like this in this exact same style before. So that was an interesting one. And then in February, we did the ladies' diary. Now, this is my favourite way to create my journals. We've got a chipboard cover using the fabric tape wrapped method. I show you everything in the Journaling J.O.Y playlist so that members can always refer back and follow the tutorials. And I do quite a lot of videos. So we've got this lovely wooden frame here, and I've added some flowers here, and this is a fussy cut that I added glossy accents to. And then inside here I've got what I call a tatty vintage style. So some of my journals are what I call clean and simple, and some are tatty vintage, and those are my 2 preferred styles of making journals. So this one is very, very quite tatty vintage, and we've got this triple pocket here, which is also a belly band. I've got tutorials on everything. I show you step by step so that you can get exactly the same results as me. Okay, made that. What else did we make? I've just clipped on bits of leftover lace and fabric there. But the main thing that I use throughout all of these journals is just the papers that I give you. Okay, or if you want to use your own, use your own. Just the papers and the fussy cuts. Okay, we don't need heaps of things to make fantastic journals. And I show you what, I come up with different pocket styles every time I make a journal. I should keep like a catalogue of them, to be honest, because I keep forgetting them. And I love these little fussy cuts. I had lots of fussy cuts in my collection, and I don't always glue them down as embellishments. I like to tuck them in the pockets as just little bits of interest. Okay, so I'm not going to go through it all, but this is the ladies' diary collection. I made these little note notepads. I've done all sorts of things, and all of these little pockets. Fantastic. So these, I give you lots of inspiration and ideas. Okay, lots. I don't just give you the collection and leave you to it. I create the journals along with you every single month. Love this. So that was the ladies' diary. And then March, we did the recipe keeper. Now this was a bit of a beast, and it was something totally different. And I really enjoy this because as much as I love the vintage style of journals, I like other themes for other things that are not necessarily all vintage and tatty. And the recipe keeper was superb, and we added some interactive folio elements in with this one, which I also do, and I do give you all of the measurements, and I do step-by-step tutorials. And so here we've got a waterfall, so it's almost like a mixture between a journal and a mini album. And I love this style of journal, and I do these every so often. You know, I'll do these, and we've got a tuck there and a tuck there, and I showed you how to make this file folder that looks like a leather book. Absolutely love this one. We've got the little tucks there and flips with recipe cards in, and it all ties. And then we've got the journaling elements. So this was all about recipe keeping, you know, what do they call them, like an heirloom piece to pass down. This was very, very, very popular. A lot of ladies and gents came to get this collection and created with it. It's beautiful. It's perfect if you want to make a recipe keeping book. Okay, and then in the back we've got the same interactive folio element. There's another waterfall behind there, and as I say, I show you step by step. So different ways of making journals every time. Okay, there's always something different. And then after the recipe keeper, we did, I'm just looking at my list, Spring Country Gingham, and I kept this one quite clean and simple. I think the papers were absolutely beautiful, and because of the softness, it didn't need overdoing. But we have got, you know, again, a little bit of interaction, and I used white cardstock instead of black, which is rare. And so we've got like magnetised pockets, you know, that are filled with little cards. How cute. So this is the Spring Country Gingham. This was April's Journal in Joy. Was it January, February? No, it wasn't. Yes, January, February, March, April. It was April. And then we've got this little pocket here, and then when you turn it round, we've got the little Polaroid pocket tuck. So, you know, it's not just plain old journaling pages. I do a lot of things to try and make them just that little bit more creative and interactive. Okay, and then I love my tabs, and I've kept the pages because we've got the interaction. We've got it at the front and at the back, the same, with the magnetised and all of the pockets and everything. So then that meant I could keep my pages pretty plain because we've got a lot of interaction going on here. So I just decorated them very simply. I did tutorials on all of the little handmade ephemera and this double wallet pocket here. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful collection. Absolutely stunning. What does this one do? I can't even remember. Oh, that one slides. So I've got interactive elements as well within the journal. Okay, it's just beautiful. I'm trying to find a centre page. I love this. Love it. It's so bright and fresh. I'm trying to find a centre page to showcase the paper. Let's have a look what we can find in the middle of this one. So there we've got that with the two little girls flying the kite with the gingham in the country. Like I say, representing the name Country Gingham. And then this one here with the lady feeding the chucks. Absolutely gorgeous. So that was that one. That was January, February, March. That was April. So May was A Creative Life. Again, I did quite a large one. Clean and simple. And I liked the kind of mini album or card kind of layout on the front here. Did a full tutorial on that. And yeah, I share how to do, there's loads of interactive elements in this, pockets and things. I'm not going to undo them all. There is a flip through, but we did quite a lot of like moving, like this one if it's not stuck down, like moving elements, interactive elements. We did some cool stuff. So I'm always thinking of different ways. You know, we don't just do bog standard journals. We do fantastic ones. Okay, so that was the recipe keeper. Again, this one was really no, A Creative Life, I beg your pardon. Again, this was super popular because, you know, A Creative Life, this journal relates to you and me because we are creatives. Okay, so it is specifically for us. I've got that stuck. Why have I got it stuck? Okay. So we've got this sliding waterfall mechanism. We've got all sorts of things going on in that one. All the tutorials are there. I do them all, and I think of different things every time. And then the most recent one, this is July. This is French chic. Absolutely beautiful. I have just done a flip through of this, so I'm not going to go into it heaps. But there's loads and loads of beautiful vintage. And it's kind of a vintage tatty, is this one, rather than clean and simple. With all of these beautiful fabric tabs and, you know, lots of different pocket ideas in this one. Tutorials on all of them. So not with the image changing and the sliding, just beautiful, beautiful, clean and simple pockets. Made special by how you decorate them and what you put in them. Absolutely stunning. So check out the full flip through for that one because that is the most recent. So that is 6 months so far of journaling joy, and you can create all of these because the way that I teach them means that you can very easily create even something like this, really chunky and quite detailed journal in a month, in under a month. We've no need to be spending, you know, 2, 3, 4 months making a journal, you know, and then the more experienced you get, I can make 2 a month. I can't make them any faster than that. Not for a 2 or 3 signature journal, which is what I do, and I very rarely do anything less than 2. They're mostly 3 signatures. I can create 2 a month, and it's because I've learned hints, tips and techniques, and because I don't over embellish. I can make my journals fantastic with fantastic elements to give them the wow factor without over embellishing the pages, and that is the key to my journaling joy kind of teaching, is that we don't over embellish the pages, we don't have gator mouth, we don't spend forever and 10 days making journals, we have lots of writing space. Our journals are functional, but they all have a wow, either interactive moving elements or these kind of mini album folio style elements. Each one has a wow. So along with the membership, which is a very low cost, if you go and have a look, you'll be surprised. I do guide you through step by step. And as well as these collections, you also get some extras. Not every month, but as regular as I can, you get other extras. So there's other things in that membership as well. There is heaps and heaps and heaps of stuff. Plus heaps and heaps of tutorials, ideas and inspiration if you check out the playlist below. So I hope that you've enjoyed that little recap of 6 months of journaling joy. I can't see me ever giving this up. I'm going to need to retire at some point, but I can't see me doing it. I think I'll be making these until I take my final breath because I absolutely love it, and I love showing you guys how to do it too. So thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. Take care. Big love to you all. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.